steps to really understanding financial freedom? I mean, obviously, we're in a consumer society now. So, really, sometimes it's not even necessarily that we want to be financially free, but we want the things that money brings. And so how did you define, financial literacy for yourself? How do you define it for yourself, and what's some steps that you took to begin to grow in those different areas to learn more about finance?
Well, I can say for me, starting business, as young as I started business, I had to start taking accountability for some of the decisions that I made, right? So I tell people all the time, when haircuts were only $10 back when I was 18, 19 years old, I was making $1,500 to $2,000 a week cutting hair. That was good money for 18, 19-year-old, living at home with his parents. So I used to change the rims on my truck like they were going out of style. I would put sounds in my car, and I had Coogee this and Coogee that, and alligator shoes and tailor-made suits. I spent money, but then I was juggling trying to pay rent or juggling trying to pay my car note, and that really didn't make any sense, right? But for me, and I think for a lot of us, we think that, okay, if I make $100,000 a year, then I should be able to go and buy a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house. And it really don't work like that, because you find yourself struggling trying to pay what you thought you could pay based off the money that you make. And that's not really and I'm sure that they can understand exactly what I'm talking about, because they tell you, if you make this amount of money, and we feel like we don't want nobody to tell us what to do. I do what I want to do, but they'll tell you in the financial industry, if you make this kind of money, then this is the type of house you buy. If you make this kind of money, then these type of cars and so on that you buy. So again, for me, it was a matter of grabbing those, the bull by the horns, taking accountability, and can't get mad at God because I feel like, man, they come in to repo my car. No, don't buy a BMW when you can only afford $1,000 now. You know what I'm saying? So who fault is that? So it's about sacrificing and understanding what's important. And like they were saying, they're setting themselves up where, man, they'll have 3 times that. So the money they make, like, I'm not dependent on, even though I have 401k through my company, I have, my pension and stuff like that set up through my company, Social Security and all of that. But I ain't dependent on that if I don't get a dime of that. The way I'm trying to set myself up, you know what I'm saying? None of that stuff is gonna matter. That's gonna be gas money, if you will, to put in my car, So again, just taking accountability. I think that's key. So, I'll leave it there for me.
Kate, you want to jump in now?
Yeah, one of the words that kind of stuck out to me, Larry, was accountability. And I think that's a great word. Another thing that I want to add those is discipline. I know for me and my wife, Jurnell, as you know, college, I was just blowing through money, debt, credit cards, bills, and things like that. But as I got married and I kind of sat down and I took a look at my financial situation, I realized that I was working hard. I'm a hard worker, and I work at least 40 or 50 hours a week, but I'm still waiting on that check to come in those 2 weeks. So the thing was that we had to make a choice. And that's where that financial literacy comes in at. It's not really money if you're making the money if you still got to owe people, if you still got to pay all this debt off. You know what I'm saying? So just to understand how your money works, understanding that you can't live the life that you want to live if you're going to spend the whole life paying people back. The goal, and that's what we teach, financial freedom means your money working for
Hey,
you.
say that one more time for me. You can't live the life that you want to live if what?
If you're still paying money back to people every single year. Yeah, I mean, it just makes no sense. People think that, and me younger, like I said, in college, we were just blowing through money. I would run up a credit card bill and then not even worry about it, not knowing that you have to pay those things back. So becoming free of debt first is that first step to financial freedom. And then after that, you have to know how to invest your money. Start making your money work for you generationally. Um, a quick little story. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she actually understood the part of investment and leaving money for the next generation. Long story short, we had a house fire, and then 6 months later, we ended up having to lose her to some illnesses. But in that process, people were looking at us like, how's this young couple with these beautiful, beautiful kids gonna make it? And that whole house just burned down. But we had savings in place, and my mother-in-law was so smart to have an IRA set up, an investment account set up, so that we would be able to do the things that we need to do, like pay off all of the debt and get ourselves together, and then we can hold some money and still invest it for our kids on down the line. So it's all about getting out of debt so you can that you can live the life you want to live and not pay people back when you're 60 or 70 years old. And then you do some investing so that when your kids get older, you can set them up and put them in a better situation than you were when you were younger. I know me, I didn't have a lot growing up. I walked to work, walked home, walked everywhere, went to school, had to pay myself through school. So I don't want my kids to have to start off at the bottom where I did. And that's the main goal. Financial literacy, just making your money work through your generations, through your kids and grandkids and so on.